No volume. All right, so we're on the record in docket 22-00417. That is City of Lansing versus Antonia Taylor. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Ms. Williams.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Williams appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Taylor, who's standing to my right.
And ma'am, you are Antonia Taylor.
Right.
Thank you. This is the time set for a final pretrial in the matter. Ms. Williams, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I subpoenaed multiple witnesses and the victim, but it seems that no one has appeared today. And due to this failure to appear, the city is going to dismiss this matter without prejudice.
So witnesses were subpoenaed. People are unable to proceed.
No objection, Your Honor.
And there's no objection. So I will print out the nollie pros and have you sign it, Ms. Williams, for the final. You'll hear it, Prince.
Thanks. Technology is arguing with him.
We're always one. Technology in this building requires patience. That's what it requires.
Yeah.
That wasn't in your job description, was it? Fix a printer.
I somehow wound up as
everybody's job description now.
the office tech support. I think it's just because I'm the youngest, but I don't quite know how it happens.
Like general, everybody's required. All right, Ms. Taylor, I'm going to sign this nollie pros signed by the prosecutor. There's an indication that it is dismissed without prejudice, which means the people could reissue if they choose to. But realistically, for our purposes today, the case is dismissed. All right, ma'am? And you can get a copy if you choose from my court officer. Anything else for the record in 22-00417, Ms. Williams?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter.
Thank you.
Nothing further.
All right, Ms. Taylor, you're all set. Then did you want to go to Ms. Tolles or Ms.
Ms. Tolles and Ms. Miziak are both ready.
Ms. Yak, do you want to do the diversion on her?
Family and Ms.
She doesn't have that kind of wisdom.
I know she has no problem.
That. Work the hours.
When we talk about
Ms. Tolles, already on your case.
Hi.
Hello. All right, so we're on the record in docket 24L2837291, 92, and 93. Those are all tickets. It is City of Lansing versus Michaela Tolles. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Yeah.
Ms. Williams.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Williams appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
And Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Tolles, who joins us via Zoom.
And ma'am, you are Michaela Tolles, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
All right. This is the time set for a pre-trial on the matter. I'm looking for the third ticket. Because I seem to have
There's a,
improper plate,
yep,
an unregistered vehicle.
and a no insurance CI.
I only have two here. I didn't.
Can I speak?
In a second,
Just one
ma'am.
second. He's just looking for the third file.
These were the two that were bundled. Missing the no insurance, I think. Yeah. No. Let's go on those and. What's that? All right.
Because I believe we do have a resolution for all three
Okay.
files today.
All right, so grab some. It'll be for L28373293. That's the last one. Stand by, Ms. Tolson. We'll find that last. Okay, we've got it here. All right, so we're on the record in these three files. Ms. Williams, how we proceed?
Your Honor, the city moves to dismiss all three files. The defendant presented a valid plate, registration, and insurance.
And Ms. Sutter, these are all on a ticket, so I'll dismiss all. That's your understanding?
It is, Your Honor, yes, and there's no objection to that.
All right, so I've got this on 242837921. City moves to dismiss. And on the unregistered vehicle, no proof. All right, so Ms. Tolles, all three of these tickets, the city has moved to dismiss without prejudice on the ticket pursuant to the plea agreement. So anything else for the record in dockets 24L283792729192 and 93, Ms. Williams.
Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Sutter.
Nothing further.
All right, Ms. Tolles, you should be all set today. All three of those tickets have been dismissed.
I appreciate it. Is there like a confirmation or something that I would get?
I don't know if from a ticket, all I do is dismiss it outright. There's no actual nollie process done. You could call the criminal department to make sure all three are tickets are dismissed. That from the ticket you have, I've written in each one separately that it's dismissed.
I appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Ms. Tolles.
Thank you, Judge.
You have Ms. Misc.
Yeah, if you don't mind giving us just another minute
Sure.
on that.
Misiak. All right, so we're on the record in docket 22-01688. That is the city of Lansing versus Natalie Misiak. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Ms. Williams,
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant City Attorney Emily Williams appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Miziak, who's standing to my right.
Ma'am, you are Natalie Misiak, is that correct? All right, thank you. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Ms. Williams, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we reached an agreement that Ms. Miziak is going to complete some community service hours through the diversion program. So for our purposes, the case will be dismissed today. She is to complete the hours in 60 days. That's by April 16th, and to pay $100 fine. Once those are completed, well, the case is going to be dismissed now. The case is not going to be the charge is not going to be reissued upon verification of these hours on April 16. If she fails to do so, the city is dismissing without prejudice and will be reissuing charges then if need be.
All right, so my understanding is that the case is being dismissed today with the understanding that Ms. Misiak completes certain compliance measures. If they're not completed, the case will be reissued. But if you are able to complete these conditions, then this case will stay. The case will stay dismissed. Is that correct, Ms. Misiak? That's your understanding? All right. All right, so the nollie process will be signed with the understanding that the conditions for compliance are to be met. So this is a dismissal without prejudice, which means that people could reissue if they choose to, based on the nollie process and the compliance issues, they could reissue if they choose to. But for our purposes today, the case is dismissed. All right, ma'am? All right.
I'm gonna email you later today with that law and the list of communities.
I just need it signed.
Yep, I'll get that to you this afternoon.
So I can sign it and give it back to you.
So-
Have some-
So does the city run a diversion program, or does that go through,
That goes through us.
That goes through you?
Yes,
because the prosecutor's office also runs a diversion program?
yeah, we do so.
And that, yeah, and that's and it's the same way, that
Yeah,
it's a
the same
reissue.
way.
It's-
I've actually been trying to avoid it because it's a lot of work. And
I think it's a good idea.
Service hours, like bypassing
Right.
it, well, it kind of backfired on me in this one case, so go back to the basics.
Well, it creates, if done correctly, it doesn't create as much work because the dismissal's upfront. But you're gonna have cases that, you know,
That's true.
but I like it better. I know, but I know in the prosecutor's office, we had a diversion unit.
Oh,
So we had like 4 or 5 people that were just, that's what they
the
did.
AG's office is starting something like
I
that.
think it's a
They're
good
looking for
idea, because
funding.
especially for like a trespass, I think. It's,
And no criminal.
it's where I first met Jamie White.
Oh, okay.
He was in our diversion unit before he went to law school.
Interesting. Yeah, the AG's office is trying to start a diversion program on the ground.
I think it's a good idea because I think it saves, when done correctly, it saves the office's time. We get a dismissal up front so that you don't have the file open. And then people usually do what they're supposed to do. Sometimes,
Yeah,
yes, sometimes
they don't.
it was
yeah.
ours, and then you get the reissue and but when they were on, it was probation diversion. They had to admit up front that they did it, and then
Oh,
we could use that against them.
okay.
Yeah, so if they wanted to be in the unit, they had to admit guilt, come, and then, so, so they really had weight to finish the diversion,
Interesting.
because they'd already
Yeah,
admitted
because
guilt.
You admitted to that.
Yeah.
Actually, the program is starting in David's division. His boss
Does he?
is doing it, and I was like, are they looking for
I-
attorneys?
Yeah, I mean, you're part attorney, part probation officer, part social worker.
Yeah, I mean, everything else, I'm just, you get to the point where like, maybe I need a change, I'm not sure. We'll see.
Yeah.
just
Yeah, I
like
don't know where
my
that
job
do-
because it's very flexible and I get to work from home, but
Yeah.
a new job might be hard to kind of do that.
right, Mr. Stockenauer, you're here for Martinez Baca. So, Mr. Stockenauer, you're here for Martinez Baca today?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
All right. And Ms. Williams, are you handling that case for the city?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Baca, you can come up here. All right, so we're on the record in dockets 5061. So it's 23005061, and then 24005151, which is the zoning code case. I think that, and is that a new one? January 12th. Okay.
Yes, there is a new one.
All right. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Ms. Williams.
Morning, Your Honor, Assistant City Attorney Manny Williams appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And sir, you are Alejandro Martinez Baca. Is that correct? All right. This is the time set for, this was scheduled for February 27th, today's date. I remember the case. This had to do the initial 23005061. A fine was implemented, and that there was an extra dog, if I can remember correctly. Okay. And then the new case is 24005151, and that was set on the same date. And that was a code compliance case for more than 4 vehicles at the premises parked on the unimproved surface ticket. Ms. Williams, how are we proceeding today?
Your Honor, I'd like to ask Mr. Martinez Buck if there are any updates on the dog situation first.
All right, so you wanted to ask Mr. Martinez Baca?
Yes.
All right, so how are we doing on, there was one dog left,
Yes.
my understanding.
Yes. So I've been calling to the shelter on Mason. We don't receive any call from them, but my son, he called last night to take it there. And they give him like 2 weeks. This is the paper that they gave me.
Can I see your?
Yeah, you can,
And it's already filled by my son, one of my sons, and he sent the copy to them back to the office. So that was should know right there that it's gonna be, out of my house. But they give him like 2 weeks or a week. Depends, because they don't have any places right now.
I'll hear from the city attorney on that. What is that a bill of? I'm not sure what that is.
It's an application for the capital area humane society to surrender an animal.
Okay.
So I think this is a step forward.
So first step forward.
Yes,
in this
yes,
case.
it is a step forward. And if he says it's 2 weeks, I'm willing to adjourn this matter for 4 weeks if that's going to help without imposing any fines.
Okay,
Because I acknowledge that this is a step
all
forward.
right, yeah.
And
Well, this is the first documentation that we've seen, which would indicate that you made some progress in moving the dog, okay? The case is getting old, but this is the first progress we've seen. I think I agree with Ms. Williams that we can adjourn over 2 weeks, but the next time the dog has to be out of your presence, because I think this has been going on since September of 2023. And so I'm going to grant an adjournment without fine. And make sure that the city attorney has a copy of that, okay? Because that's what we're granting the adjournment on. For 4 weeks?
I'll be generous and ask for 4 weeks.
Okay. So- What's that? Let's start with this one. So for March 26th at 9 a.m. What we're doing is we're avoiding that becoming the most expensive dog ever. And I know you get attached to the dog. I understand that, but you've made steps in the right direction. Continue those steps. All right. This is so when we come back here, the dog's got to be someplace else.
So by this paper,
Okay. All right. So we'll adjourn that to March 26th at 9 a.m. for the compliance on the dogs. And then, so that's all for the record, 23005061. And then we have the note, the new zoning code ticket on
Yes, Your Honor.
24005151. Ms. Williams, how are we proceeding on that?
Your Honor, I received an email from the code officer, Mr. Stocknower. He's available via Zoom.
Yep.
He sent me some photos from the premises yesterday, and there are 9 cars parked in front of the property, which is in violation of the code ordinance. So the number of cars need to be
It's got to
cut
be,
down
it's got to
to
be 4.
4 cars, and no car is supposed to be parked on the unimproved surface.
So, Mr. Martinez-Vaca, do you have a plan for that?
also I have my sons. One's paying 2 cars, another one is paying 2 cars because it's 1 car for
All right,
the wife and 1 car for them to go to work.
but
And the other one also.
I don't need an explanation. What I need is 4 cars or less. All right, I mean, that's the bottom line. I know there's an explanation as to why there's so many cars there, but the code compliance is 4 cars or less. And it's got to be 4 cars or less. And I'm not going to let this sit like the other file did, okay? Because we're running into a pattern of behavior here where we're just running, we give you time, you come back, you don't make the improvements that you need to make, or you don't make and then we give you more time. And you understand that you're on the code. I mean, you've done exactly what you shouldn't do, which is you've become notorious. You know, I mean, now it's easy for them to say you're not in compliance because you're never in compliance, right? There's always an extra dog there. There's 5 cars too many there. Okay, right now there's 9 cars there. And if you come back with a plan, the plan for the dog, I understand. The plan for the cars, get your kids to move their cars. Okay, I mean that's the bottom line. So the free trial on this was on February 13th. That was the initial free trial, and then we just moved it to today's date for compliance purposes.
Yes, Your
So
Honor.
Mr. Stockenauer indicated to you that as of last night,
Yes,
There's
there
still-
were 9 cars.
so how do you want to
parked on the
proceed?
property.
I'll kind of leave the ball in your court. I just want the cars gone.
Your Honor, like you said, this has been dragging forever.
The dog this is a new ticket.
I understand, but given the general situation of what we have been facing with Mr. Martinez-Vaca, I'm hesitant to give him more time to correct this issue. So I'm only asking for, I would ask for a week or 10 days adjournment.
All right, I think
A
that's
very
fair.
brief adjournment for
Right.
him to and his children to take care of the situation. After that, I'm going to ask for the court to allow the city to enter the property and abate the violations themselves.
And then you lose control because the city comes in, they make the corrections and then they charge you for it. And then, so not only is this an expensive dog that we were talking about, then this turns into 4 extra expensive cars. And you're bearing the brunt of it. You're bearing the brunt of it. So I think that's a fair request. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
And so I think that 10 days from today's date, and we'll set the time period. We'll probably be over that because I think I'm going to be at a conference.
Oh, okay.
So
We do it next week or not? till the 19th?
let's do the 19th. So we'll set it for adjournment to remedy the situation. To
March 19th.
March 19th at 9:30. Now, Mr. Martinez-Bach, if you come in on March 19th and I get a report that that we haven't, then you're gonna face some fines, okay? I'm telling you right now, okay? Yep, and so this is the start of the 10-day grace period for you to find a way to get just 4 cars on your property, and everybody else has to be responsible for their cars.
Okay.
All right. And then you've got a month for the dog, all right? Anything else on the record, 24005151, Ms. Williams?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Stockenhauer, do you have anything on this?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Just keep in touch with Ms. Williams. But we've granted some adjournments on the dog case that's been going on for a long time. This is 10 days out. So if I get back and we have a problem 10 days, you know you're gonna face some costs, okay? All right. That's all for the record, 24005151. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. You wanna have a couple?
Is it your only copy? Do you have a,
Yeah.
is it the only one you have?
I can wait.
Yeah, can you make a copy of that?
Sorry.
Actually make 2 copies. Make one for our file and one for your
Okay.
file. So we can just throw it in with the ticket. Or else I'll be wondering why we adjourned it,
Yeah.
I just.
All right, Ms. Sutter, who do you have?
I have Mr. Green, Mr. Puckett, Mr. Lewis, and Mr. Oh, I'm so sorry. Lewis Puckett.
Mr. Wozniak,
He is my client.
but you have him on other cases.
Yes and no. We have that case from yesterday. That's one
Yes.
with the mental health court files. So technically, I am no longer the attorney of record. Sarah Donnelly is through the mental health court.
Right,
So Mr. Starts and I have been taken off of his files. But in a way also, yes, I am.
well, he had that. I know we saw him yesterday. He's
Yeah.
not here today. But I know that that's going towards a global resolution and community mental health.
I don't, and that's what I would prefer. I don't know that the city's permitted to do that. However, we were going to be requesting an adjournment today anyway, because I don't have discovery in the file.
Okay,
And I
Right.
think the city was interested in seeing and confirming that everything happened in the
yeah,
mental health court.
I know he's in mental health court.
Yes, he
I know
is.
Ms. Donnelly is his lawyer.
Yep.
And I know he's got various files, but
Yes.
they're trying to do a global resolution.
Right, and he is at Bear River right now
Okay.
too. That's where he appeared from yesterday.
That's where you hear to us.
Yep.
All right. So let's save him because we know where he's at. So you can call him. What's the next one?
I'll let you choose.
Lewis, Jimmy Lewis?
Foreign training, it's not a final free trial.
It's
It's
a
not. Yeah, it's a-
P53
It's a free trial.
and a P53.
On Green?
Yes, or yes.
I don't have anything.
Is this Jimmy Lewis?
This is Sergey Green.
Okay,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm Jimmy.
Green's back there. This is Mr. Jimmy Lewis. I apologize.
right. Let's go on Mr. Lewis and then we'll
Okay.
go on Mr.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, you're gonna tell us one way who you are, so, but this is Mr. Lewis, okay. So we're on record on 19L2508621. That's the city of Lansing versus Jimmy Lewis. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Ms. Williams,
Morning, Your Honor, Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Williams appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Ms. Sutter,
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Lewis, who's standing to my right.
and sir, you are Jimmy Lewis, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Ms. Williams, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Lewis will be asking for an adjournment for compliance purposes. And I defer to the public defender as to the time.
Ms. Sutter?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, that's correct. Mr. Lewis is working on achieving compliance. He's recently learned he's got, I believe, he believes an unpaid court fine to pay. So we'd be asking for 45 days if possible to give him the time to complete that.
We adjourned this 45 days in February 13th. And then Mr. Lewis, you had to fail to appear on March 27th. So this case is getting old. How many days? So I'm going to grant an adjournment for compliance purposes, but it's the last adjournment. and I'll write it down because we're just running out of time. Okay? We're just running out of time. So last adjournment.
And then I received this ticket when, or this whatever.
This was in 2019.
Yeah, on February 13th, we adjourned for 45 days. And then I have you on March 27th. We had a bench warrant with a 48-hour hold. So I don't know what happened on that one.
Oh, I believe we've had another hearing since then.
I think there was a
On
pretrial set.
February 6th, which I did want to make a note about at the end of the record, but
Okay. Well, those are 2023.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 2024. So you were arraigned on the bench warrant most likely.
He had a pretrial in front of yourself on, I believe, January 23rd.
You might have on a different file.
When I looked it up in the public defender system, it was this one because it was one of the days that GIS was down, because my note for the record today is that we weren't provided notice like we were supposed to have been.
Okay. I have February 13th, a pretrial set for February 27th. That was 2024. And then before that, the only time I have is March 27th, 2023. Then I have February 13th. I have him arraigned by the magistrate, it looks like, on February 13th for today's date. So that's what I have. I mean, that doesn't mean that that's the last note I have. I don't have a January date of this.
I showed it was arraigned on 1/17/20.
Yeah.
Give me just a second. Sorry.
I have 1/17 of 2023.
One-
Arraigned on February 13th.
On-
in Union County Jail this year.
On this
And then-
one.
Yep, on this one. And he was given today's date.
That's what I
I
have.
don't have anything showing that he was part of when GIS was down.
So I'm not sure, but this is so there's a little history here because it's 23. It's actually a 2019 case, but let's grant this for the last adjournment. We'll go over a month out.
April 9th.
All right, so we've adjourned to April 9th at 9 o'clock. This expired license case has been going on since 2019. So this is the time to wrap it up, okay?
Oh, yes.
All right. All right, so April 9th at 9 a.m. Anything else for the record? And 19L2508621, Ms. Williams.
Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Sutter?
Nothing further.
All right, we're all set, Mr. Lewis. We'll see you on the 9th, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're all set. Actually,
Thank you. Yeah.
And Mr. Green.
Your Honor, Mr. Green, it shows that this is a pre-trial, not a final pre-trial. I did not subpoena any witnesses because my system did not show up that this was a final pre-trial or any.
Yeah, I
witnesses
Your Honor,
to be
it's-
subpoenaed.
it's not a final pretrial. There's a PA-53 on the docket.
So it's a pretrial and a PA 53.
Well, that
is
did
what-
not show up on the
Well,
document
let's
that
call
I
it,
have.
let's call it now. Gotta find Green. Green. All right, so we're on the record in docket 24-0040. That is people, the city of Lansing versus, and correct my pronunciation of this, Sir Trey Green.
Correct.
Okay. This is the time set for a pretrial and a PA 53 violation that's on my record. Appearances for the record, Ms. Williams.
Assistant City Attorney, hearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lawrence Sutter, appearing today on behalf of Mr. Green, was standing to my right.
And sir, once again, you are Mr. Green, is that correct?
Trey Green.
Sir Trey Green. All right. Thank you. This is the time set for a pretrial and PA 53 contempt. Ms. Williams, how we proceed?
Your Honor, it seems that the office, or my paralegal made an error because I only have I am aware of the pre-trial only. I'm not aware of the 53 that was on the docket. It's not reflecting on any of the documents that I have.
All right. So you didn't subpoena anybody for the PA 53?
No, Your Honor, I was not aware of it.
And then the pretrial is still outstanding. All right. Ms. Sutter, how are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. I think I have to ask for the PA 53 to be dismissed. This is on the docket for today and there are no witnesses appearing for it. So I would ask for that to be dismissed and final pretrial, or the pretrial to be scheduled for a final pretrial.
All right, so I'm going to deny the dismissal, the request for the PA 53 and set it for final pretrial on both files. So set for final pretrial on the assault and battery. And then we'll set for a corresponding jury trial. And then for the PA 53, we'll adjourn to the final pretrial date. That'll get the witness here subpoenaed. And if the witness doesn't show up, then we know the status of the case on some level.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So the adjourn to the pretrial date. And that way the defendant's not looking at anything differently because he's going to come here for final pretrial anyway.
Right.
So adjourn to
Final pretrial, PA 53 on March 19th at 8:30.
at 8:30, and that'll be for the PA 53.
Yes, and the final pretrial.
Okay, March 19th. At 8:30, and then corresponding jury trial date.
March 26th at 8:15.
At 8:15, if needed. All right, so we have set the final pretrial date for the 24-00400 for March 19th at 8:30. Jury trial date is set for March 26th at 8:15. Correspondingly, the PA 53, we've set the final pretrial on the date that the witness will be subpoenaed on March 19th at 8:30. That then we don't change anything. And then we'll see where the case lands.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else for the record? 24-00400, Ms. Williams.
No, nothing further.
Ms.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Nothing further.
All right, Mr. Green, we'll see you on the March 19th. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's my
Have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you. You too. We have Mr. Agut and Mr. Puckett.
Let's do Mr. Green. That was set for final pretrial.
That's correct, Your
And
Honor. Yes.
we got a call saying he was running late.
Right, yes.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 22-02626. That is the city of Lansing versus Kual Agut. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Ms. Williams.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Williams appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, on behalf of Mr. Agut, who's standing to my right.
And sir, you are Kual Agut, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a final pretrial today. Ms. Williams, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I subpoenaed multiple witnesses and the victim in the matter, but it seems that everyone failed to appear today. The city will move to dismiss without prejudice.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, we'll print out that nollie pros for the city to sign. Mr. Goot, what this means is the city is moving to dismiss without prejudice, which means they could reissue if they choose to, but realistically, for our purpose today, the case is going to be dismissed, all right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm in possession of the nollie pros signed by the city for witnesses failed to appear. This is dismissed without prejudice, as I indicated previously. And you should all be all set, Mr. Good. I've signed the dismissal by the city of Lansing. All right, sir?
Thanks so much.
All right, that's all for the record. Anything else for 22-02626, Ms. Williams?
No, Your Honor. nothing
Ms. Sutter.
further.
Nothing further.
All right, Mr. Good luck to you.
Thank you, boss.
Mr. Puckett is here and ready.
All right. We'll look at Bosniak because
Yes.
I know where he is.
Right. Your Honor, do you mind? He's got mobility issues. Is it okay
He
if
can
he
stay
stands
right there.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Mr. Good. Cool.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 24-00291. That is City of Lansing versus Alvin Puckett. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Ms. Williams.
Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Williams here on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Agut, who is standing just behind me to my right.
Mr. Puckett.
Sorry, Your Honor.
It's okay.
Mr. Puckett.
I know there's no shame in that at all. Mostly because I do it all the time. Sir, you are Alvin Puckett, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a pretrial on this matter. Ms. Williams, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I defer to the public defender.
All right, Ms. Sutter.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is the first hearing for Mr. Puckett on the no-ops and the CI ticket. We'd be asking for an adjournment to allow him to gain compliance, if possible, 60 days.
All right. It appears that this is the first pretrial on there is a part of the file is the improper license, and then the accompanying ticket is a fail to stop within the assured clear distance.
Correct.
And so seeking adjournment for compliance. Any objection, Ms. Williams?
No, Your Honor, no objections.
All right, so we'll adjourn 60 days out.
Until 9.
What's that?
Until 9.
Thank you. April. April. All right, so Mr. Puckett, we've adjourned this to April 9th at 9 a.m. for compliance purposes. So I'll see you on that April 9th date, all right? Please keep in contact with your attorney, Ms. Sutter, concerning any matters that you need to address with her, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else for the record? 24-00291, Ms. Williams.
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And Ms. Smith is on the Zoom
Thank
when
you.
you get a chance.
Thanks. I'm just gonna get the door straight.
All right.
It's a little wonky.
Who take his?
I went to him.
All right, so Miss Kenesha Smith, we'll call your case. And Miss Smith, you'll have to unmute. There you go. All right, so we're on the record in docket 23-03707. That is the city of Lansing versus Kenesha Smith. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Ms. Williams.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Williams appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Smith, who joins us via Zoom.
And ma'am, you are Kenesha Smith, is that correct?
Yes,
And you can hear me all right, Ms. Smith?
yes, I can.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. We adjourned last week for confirmation purposes. Ms. Williams, how are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor, the community service hours were verified, and I believe Ms. Smith will be accepting responsibility to the amended charge, the civil infraction breach of the peace.
That's a civil infraction. It's a $130 fine,
I believe it's a
150.
150.
It's a 150 fine.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And Ms. Smith, that's your understanding that your attorney will be admitting responsibility on the civil infraction with a $150 fine based on your compliance purposes. Is that correct?
Yes,
All right, Ms. Sutter, so you'll be admitting responsibility on behalf of your client.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So in regards to, that would be, so it's written on it would be a, how do you guys like it? Because it's an added count or amended count? Because it's on, I think because it's
Amended
a,
count,
I think we have to add, if it's.
added and dismiss the first one.
Yeah. Or it's preferred on this. This is on a warrant. Yeah. So let's go count 2. Civil infraction of breach of the peace. Under the city code. It's a $150 fine. With a admission of responsibility. Count 1 is to be dismissed. Then we make sure that misdemeanor is dismissed. And for conduct which occurred on June 17, 2023, do you admit responsibility on behalf of your client for a breach of the peace on that date in the city of Lansing, Ms. Sutter?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. With that understanding, the admission of responsibilities to count 2, count 1, the misdemeanor is dismissed. And does your client need some time to make that $150 payment to the city of Lansing?
Yes, Your Honor. If you would allow 45 days.
So it'll be April 15th. So Ms. Smith, you can set up your own payment plan as long as it's all paid by April 15th. You can pay $20 a week, $25 a week. The due date is April 15th. All right, ma'am?
okay.
All right. Anything else for the record in 23-03707, Ms. Williams?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Sutter.
Nothing further.
All right, Ms. Smith, good luck to you. You're all set.
Thank you.
Avoid causing myself any problems. I would probably dismiss it next week. I'll give him a meeting. If he comes back with an active license, and I can email you about him.
Oh, I said myself. You would follow this afternoon.
Don't say that to
What
anybody.
is it?
Follow this
All right.
afternoon.
Just, it's all fixed because then you'll be fixing everybody's thing.
I'm going to email you. right
Unless you
now.
want to fix everybody's
We
thing.
have it in writing.
Thanks. I think I got enough things to do.
Maybe other court officers you can fix. But if you say I fixed it myself, you're gonna get a lot of work. But that's what it takes. It's kind of trial and error, you know? Doesn't work, doesn't work, doesn't work.
Popped up and told me my screen configuration was wrong. I don't know what that means. So I just turned it off and turned it back on.
That's my favorite fix. No. my favorite fix for anything electronic. Does it turn it off and turn it on?
With a good, like hearty, vehement slap to the side while you're
It's
at
the
it.
equivalent to banging a television.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
I believe we're already on Mr. Smith now.
All right. All right, Mr. Smith, you can come up here. We're on the record in docket 23-03779. That is City of Lansing versus Taylor Smith. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Ms. Williams,
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant City Attorney Emmanuel Williams appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Smith, who is standing to my right.
And sir, you are Taylor Smith, is that correct? Yes, sir. Thank you. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Ms. Williams, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Smith needs an adjournment for 1 week for compliance purposes.
And that's a fair statement, Ms. Sutter.
It is, Your Honor.
All right, we'll reset this for a week from today. Is that a week from today?
March 5th at 10.
March 5th at 10 o'clock. Anything else for the record in 23-03779? Ms. Williams.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Sutter.
I have nothing further. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Smith, you should get notice from my court officer and we'll see you next week, okay?
Actually, Your Honor, if you don't mind, there is one thing. This was a hearing that was originally on the 23rd. We were supposed to be provided notice, and just making the record because it's a kind of ongoing issue. I never did receive notice of this hearing.
All right, so let's fix that. Yeah, whatever we need to do to fix that.
Thank you.
Let's
Your
get you notice of, this was a pre-trial, but it's got to be on your schedule.
We specifically on the record the last time, because JS was down, we were not able to be given a date here at the hearing, so there was no notice provided to defense counsel. So on the record, we said that both of us would be sent notice of this hearing. Otherwise, I have no idea it's coming.
That's the problem is you can't,
Right.
you got to have it on your docket.
Right, and the court rule does say that we are to be provided
Yeah,
notice.
it does. So hopefully JIS won't be down.
Right,
If it's down, let's address it. Let's make sure that notice is sent.
thank you.
By somebody, because you can't, you run by your dockets.
Right, yeah, and if I only find out on a Friday when I get the docket, it's a little late for me to do
Yeah,
anything.
exactly. All
I have
right,
nothing further than that, thank you.
but I can't guarantee that JIS, I don't know what's gonna happen with JIS.
Right,
All right, so that's all for the record, 23-03779. We're all set. We'll see you next week, sir.
you have my. I'll just give it to you. I got 1,000 of these things. Just keep me updated.
I don't know. If anything, when JIS is down, maybe we'll send you our copy of the document or give you a heads up, because it doesn't sound like you get it from the court.
We get nothing
Yeah,
from the
see.
court,
And I think we are so tied to JIS.
right?
If it's down, then we get nothing until we run something.
Right, yeah, and the current situation is if I'm not standing in a courtroom when the next date is provided, I'm not given
Right.
notice of it at all.
But we could, if JIS is down, I think you should get some copy of what we expect.
Right.
So that you expect, so we're on the same.
I see it coming, yeah. Just check, there's no one else on Zoom right now.
No.
Okay.
Oh, Nathaniel's waiting to be admitted.
Want to put him in a breakout room with me? I'll chat with him. Oh, do we got a
Let's do Mr.
second
Wozniak.
Wozniak? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do Mr. Wozniak. We don't have it. I think Miss Donnelly's notes are the way to go on that.
She takes
So it's-
incredibly detailed
Yeah.
militaristic notes.
And it's sometime, so we should set it for sometime, adjourn it for sometime after whatever resolution they have and
Right,
with but make sure she's aware that there's two files outstanding in the city.
oh, she's the one who told me.
Okay. All right.
She was the one pushing, because she
But
wants
yeah,
everything
she's-
wrapped up so she can do this mental health court, so she's been antagonizing prosecutors to issue this so she can handle
All
them.
right. All right, so we're on the record in docket 2303-109 and 2201-856. That is the City of Lansing versus Gerald Wozniak. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Ms. Williams
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant City Attorney Amani Williams appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
and Ms. Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter appearing on behalf of Mr. Wozniak. He is not present at this time, but we have a reason why.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you what I have. I actually wrote it in one of these files that and we saw Mr. Wozniak yesterday. He came from Bear River. He has other files, and there's a global resolution in mental health court that's going to resolve this. And he appeared yesterday by Bear River, and then we found out that these are set for today. I don't know whatever, but I know where he is.
Right.
He's in Bear River, and so at this time, with no objection from the city, I'm going to adjourn this out past whatever mental health court is done or evaluation, but we'll have to go past April 17th, which I think is the last date.
I believe, Your Honor, I'm gonna double check that since I have access to her notes real quick. And then I just for the record as well, we were gonna ask for an adjournment regardless today because
Right.
I'm still awaiting discovery.
I have no objections to adjournment.
All right, thank you.
I think he has an outstanding fine on an old case from last year.
Good night. Oh, we can just refer that to collections. Well, I guess we can, or we can, the second file, 2201-856, is a show cause that we reset for disorderly person.
It looks like the main part of that, the balance of that is restitution.
All right, so let's reset that on the same date because it's a restitution file and I want to make sure that
Okay,
the city has some, because it's not a fine file, it's a restitution file.
Is it after April 17th?
Well, Your Honor, I'm looking at his files with Ms. Donnelly. He's got a couple of different dates sooner than that. And he's got a date tomorrow. He's also got a date on March 1st.
So let's set it sometime after.
I would say maybe mid to late March.
Okay. So maybe the third week of March.
March 19th?
Yeah, that'll work perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll adjourn for discovery and global resolution for March.
19th at 10. I'm sorry, 9:30.
March 18th at 9:30.
Sorry,
And then
18th
we'll-
or 19th?
March 18th, 19th,
19th, okay. I heard one.
March 19th at 9:30. And we'll adjourn the show cause for March 19th at 8:30. And then I think the show cause is written on a city ticket.
Yes, or no,
No,
it's actually a
MD
state
no.
case.
It's a state, yeah. It's MDOP of a building.
It's one of the cases that we sent to mental health court.
Okay. So that might be a duplicate of one of the mental health, because it's Sparrow, I think the victim's Sparrow Hospital.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah, he had the misdemeanor, which I represented him on, and then the felony, which Mr. Starts and I represented.
so
him.
that may or may not be a restitution file, depending
Right.
on what's happened with that. All right, so but we would adjourn it to the same date, just so we have it. We have it as to March 19th.
Thank you.
So anything else on 2201-856 or 2303-109, Ms. Williams?
Hi, Your Honor. Thank
All
you.
right, Ms. Sutter, you're all set
Thank you.
on that one.
And Your Honor, I got an ugly feeling about Mr. Wood.
Just got a email from Susie saying that Wozniak is gonna zoom in shortly.
Oh,
Really? Well, now we know what we're doing with them. Mr. Wood,
he's the one at MDOC who keeps not bringing him to his hearings that he very badly wants to be brought to so that he can get,
I got a bad feeling about Mr. Wood.
yeah,
Yeah.
poor guy. He keeps sending me letters trying. I'm like, I know, dude, I'm trying too. MDOC won't listen to me.
They don't listen. Yeah, it's tagged MDOC. Somebody even tagged it on the ROA.
We've done that.
Oh, you guys are reading them fine. MDOC just keeps not doing it.
Let's hold on to Mr. Wood.
I don't know if it's worth the expense to go to actually. We don't, traditionally, we do not write somebody on an ordinance.
Or not necessarily right. He's polycommed once. So they
Would
just
make it
keep not
easy just to
signing.
put him on a poly.
Yeah, they just keep not doing that either.
Yeah, they did it on the wrong day.
Yeah, the one time they polycombed him in, it was on the wrong
Wrong
day.
day.
Right.
Well, I know they have bigger fish to fry than our fail to display, but it must be frustrating for Mr. Wood.
It's the only thing preventing him from being paroled in April.
Yeah.
So he's been trying to handle this for the last 4 years and they just keep not letting him do it.
All right. So let's hold on to that. Maybe he'll show up. Who knows?
The only other person I have on the docket for today is Jordan Gwynn.
I have Jordan Gwynn.
Looks like miss somebody.
Danny Westbrook.
I have Collins we talked about.
Yeah, Collins.
How about Westbrook?
I don't have him on my docket.
Me either.
I got Danny Westbrook. It's a trespassing file.
Yeah, I don't have that. either.
We adjourned it on February 13th because he was in the hospital.
Right.
Was removed from the docket in error.
In what?
In error.
Air?
Oh,
That's in my notes as today.
it's
Just not
not
on
on
my
my docket.
So we reset it?
We can just. We can
He's
just go to
homeless.
the series set, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was. His address is good for mail. He's a homeless guy, but this
Yeah.
address is, so let's reset Westwood.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't think we can. So what for their, what recent, what date?
The 19th.
So let's go on, let's go and put that on the record. 2400244, that's the city of Lansing versus Danny Westbrook. Appearances for the record, Miss Williams.
Assistant City Attorney Honey Williams appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Miss Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Westbrook. He's not present today, though we have explanation why.
Well, it appears that we were previously here on a previous date, February 13th. It looked like it looks like this case was taken off the docket in error, so we'll adjourn it to, what date is that?
March 19th to 10th.
March 19th at 10 a.m. And he could still be in the hospital, I'm not sure.
It's possible, Your
Yeah.
Honor.
So, but we'll reset it for March 19th. Can't read my own writing. At 10 a.m. Anything else for 2400244, Ms. Williams?
No, Your Honor, thank
Ms.
you.
Sutter.
I have nothing further.
All right, thank you. And here's Mr. Watson. Do you want to just tell them what we did?
Yeah, sure. I don't know if you want to put me in a breakout room or just.
Yeah, let me put you in a breakout.
You log in.
And then I'll. All right, Mr. Wozniak, I'm going to put you in into a breakout room with your public defender, Ms. Sutter. We've put all these files past since we understand that you're in Bear River and you've already been accepted to the specialty court. So she's going to explain that to you. We've just moved your date, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm gonna so I'll have Mr. Wozniak and Ms. Sutter move to wherever you want to move them.
You have to make me a co-host, so I
Oh.
can do that.
Let's do that. Let's do that. How do I get that up?
There should be the little 3 lines next to my name.
I have breakout rooms. I need the regular roster. How do I get the regular roster? Let's see again. So there's a breakout room.
Where it says participants down at the bottom.
There. That's easy. All right. I think I knew that. I think I forgot it. All right, we're gonna move Ms. Sutter and Ms. Wozniak, Mr. Wozniak into a breakout room, okay?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Wozniak. So we're on the record in docket 22-03509. That is the city of Lansing versus Jordan Gwynn. Will the parties please introduce themselves to the record? Miss Williams.
Assistant City Attorney Manny Williams appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Miss Sutter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, on behalf of Mr. Gwynn, was not present with us at this time.
All right, so this was, this is the this was part of an adjournment for compliance purposes. It appears that Mr. Gwynn on this no ops case has failed to appear. This was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It is now 10:30. Based on representations of counsel, I don't see Mr. Gwynn in the Zoom courtroom, physical courtroom, or in the waiting room. How would the city like to proceed?
Your Honor, I'm requesting bench warrant bond forfeiture with 48-hour hold.
Any comment, Ms. Sutter?
I would just further the request for a 48-hour hold.
I'll issue a bench warrant bond forfeiture with a 48-hour hold based on this no ops, non-appearance. Anything else for the record? In 22-03509, Ms. Williams.
No, Your Honor,
Ms.
thank you.
Sutter.
Just to briefly note for the record, this is another case with which, for which we were not provided notice of the hearing. JS was down at the last hearing, so we didn't receive it in the courtroom. We were supposed to have been mailed notice of it, and we were not.
All right, thank you. And then I guess we kind of, it's up to you how long you want to, because we're still waiting for a response.
I just sent the email. Yeah.
And to answer your question, Your Honor, flail lewd possession theft. I
Yeah,
think it might have
it was a
arisen from
controlled
this.
substance.
I think it was the same
Yeah.
case, just based on the timeline.
So they got him. Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think they caught it on him. He was driving on meth, and then he picked up the extra tickets at the same time.
Yeah, because
So-
the dates from how long he's been in custody in this case perfectly
Right.
align. So I think it's all the same incident.
And the city got the traffic stuff.
Right. I think it sounds like from the notes in the contact, he had a power of attorney at the time. I've been in contact with her. Sounds like he's been trying to handle this since the day that started, and he just keeps.
But he knew about it. It all came out.
Yeah,
It all
well,
came out of the same thing.
he's been in custody ever since. They've never brought him to be arraigned on any of it. So he's been aware of it and trying to. They just never would bring him for his own arraignment.
Emotional. I got it.
They need to reschedule. They're having an internet phone outage.
Yeah.
All right. So that. I tell you, technology goes down, we're all in trouble. I guess AT&T went down last week.
Yeah, I saw that. That was causing a lot of problems.
Yeah, that's a lot of phones.
Yeah.
All right.
Use their stuff too, so yeah.
Okay, so we're on the record in docket 20-01041. That's a DWLS. 21-02818 is the operating under a controlled substance, and then there's a ticket. 20L2560341. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? That's the City of Lansing versus Joshua Wood. Ms. Williams.
Assistant City Attorney Manny Williams appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Ms. Summer.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Wood. He is not present at this time, though not through his own fault.
Right. It's my understanding that we've been trying to clear up these 3 files for some period of time. There's been writs issued. We really just have to put on Polycom in order to clear up these, so it doesn't interfere with his DOC cases that are going. And my understanding is that this should be wrapped up before April sometime.
April 20th, he is set for his parole hearing, and
right.
everyone I've talked to indicated he's expected to be paroled on that date
So
without.
let's reset it for another Monday, but let's put it out a little bit so that everybody has time to get ready for it.
Sure.
I sent it on. Aren't we on ordinance on Tuesday?
Oh, Tuesday,
Okay,
yeah. What did
I
I
was like,
say?
I can do
What did I say,
Monday, but
Monday?
yeah, I was like, okay.
Don't set it on a
I
Monday.
thought maybe you thought MDSC would have better luck.
I don't know how that 19th looks.
I think I'm
Crazy.
bringing on a Monday. I don't mind. I'll be here on Monday if that's the only way that works.
Miss Wilson she,
She'll be a little confused.
yeah,
but
she might be a little
she's
confused by it.
flexible. That's the state house.
Yeah, I know her.
Stick it at. The problem is if we don't.
You said you think the 19th date is too filled up?
19th, or yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
also afraid of MDOC.
Yeah,
I can.
if we're do it, let's do it so that and then you can get too far. So like,
Yeah,
there's
please,
too much time.
I don't want to go too soon, but I don't want to go too late
Right.
either.
Gonna find that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Let's do March 26th.
Okay. March 26th at 9 a.m.
I don't believe him sitting there freaking out either.
March 26th. All right, we've reset it for March 26th at 9 a.m. Anything else on either one of those, any one of those files? Miss Williams,
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Miss Sutter.
Nothing further.
All right, you should be all set.
Thank you very much. Nothing this afternoon, correct? You guys go.
Miss Williams
You got a
has
full-time
a
problem. That's your.
Yes.
code compliance.
Exactly.
Is there a lawyer on that?
There is, but he failed to appear.
Like he's never appeared.
Nobody's appeared on that.
No, they've been failing to appear since September. They just ghosted me, ghosted me.
Their clients loving that.
I don't know, even nobody appears except the city. Yep.
What's my case? I have to appear.
All right, we'll take a break until we see what show causes.
Hey, when do you want the exhibits to be ready?
What time's the hearing?
Two.
Can you come up like at 1:45?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. Is that too soon?
No, no,
Okay.
it's not.
I just figured we get a mark real quick right before the hearing. And
Well,
then
you know what, I'll be
See
here
you, Miss
earlier
Sutter.
because I have a stash.
Okay.
that
You
might
didn't
take
give
away
me
the
a
door.
stack. You gave me 1, 2, 3.
Oh, but
4.
each one of them has multiple.
Yeah, but I don't have to tag one of them.
Hmm?
Aren't you introducing them as packets?
Yeah, I think I want to introduce them as packets because I only have the date and under the respective date, there are multiple photos. So I think it makes sense to introduce them as
Okay.
packets.
Okay. Yeah, because I only have 10 that we need to mark.
Okay.
According to your sheet. You're not gonna be like Andrew Stevens and show up with a whole book, are you?
No,
No,
Just making sure.
we
no,
know that's
what I
going
sent
on.
you yesterday.
Yeah, I know, I got them.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 show causes.
Enjoy that. Now we'll see what you.
I'm gonna go. I
All right, so we're on the record in docket TT 2302050 and TU 230223831. Says show cause on a balance. These are both expired meter tickets. And it appears the defendants failed to appear for the show cause. Rather than issue a bench warrant that goes along with it, I'll administratively close TT 2302050 for $85. And I will administratively close TU 230233831 also for $85. That's all for the record in those two files. All right, so we're on the record in 22L2747401. That is a show cause for Amaya Jones. There is a balance of $264 owed to the city of Lansing on a no proof of insurance call, no proof of insurance underlying ticket. And on today's date, it would appear that Amaya Jones has failed to appear for the show cause. I do not see Amaya Jones in the Zoom courtroom, physical courtroom, or waiting room. Show cause for the 264 debt. And at this time, I'll issue a bench warrant and bond forfeiture. Or bench warrant. That's all for the record in 22L2747401. heard in docket 20-03115. That is a. Hi, Marquita.
Hi, Judge.
Let me finish this one hearing, and then I'll go on the record.
Alrighty.
So, or we're on the record. So we're on the record. A show cause hearing for balance of $205 to Nikita McCants. Set for show cause today. I do not see the Zoom courtroom or the physical courtroom or the waiting room. It would appear that Ms. McCants has failed to appear for the show cause hearing. This was scheduled for 11 o'clock. It's now 11:23. And we'll issue a bench warrant for the fail to appear for show cause. And that's all for the record in docket 20-03115.